First week of NFL football. Americana. And there's nothing more American than a 45-year-old guy that looks like Captain America's got the chin of Captain America going out there on the first week of NFL Sunday on 9/11 and beating the shit out of America's team. Oh, yes. You're like, Mike Rapp, what are you talking about? You're a Tampa Bay Buccaneer fan? No. But I made a pledge after Tom Brady left the cheating New England Patriots. And you see, they got their ass kicked by the Dolphins, which was glorious. I love watching Bill Belichick. Sorry. Bill Belichick struggle. Him and Matt Patricia. He's back with the Patriots after his failed run as a head coach with the Detroit Lions, who Hard Knocks again. Hard Knocks had you believing that the Detroit Lions were going to win the Super Bowl. That show's unbelievable. The editing, the filmmaking, the slow motion, the sound, the Liev Schreiber narration. It will have you thinking the motherfucking team is going to compete for a Super Bowl. And they came out and they were back to being the Detroit Lions. Sorry, no disrespect to Isaiah Thomas or the Detroit Pistons. But watching all the hoopla every week, the Dallas Cowboys and the LA Lakers, surefire, every episode, Skip Shannon, Max Kellerman, Jay Williams, ESPN, Fox, every episode. When you're talking NBA, you're talking NFL, you're going to talk the Lakers and the Dallas Cowboys. They got their asses kicked by a 45-year-old quarterback who, again, happens to look like Captain America. Listen, he didn't play great, but he won. He don't give a fuck. You think that Tom Brady gives a fuck? If he actually plays great the first week of the season, they got that W and they beat the Cowboys, and Dak Prescott got injured. And what do I wake up to hearing about the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott? I wake up to hearing discussions of Colin Kaepernick. I've been rocking with Colin Kaepernick, supported Colin Kaepernick, think Colin Kaepernick is an American hero, put himself on the line, really helped change the narrative, bring a lot of attention to a lot of crazy shit in this country, took a lot of hits, got kicked out of the NFL. All that is true. He also made tons of money from Nike, became an icon, and yes, his career got shortened. But at the top of the story, and I love Max Kellerman from when he was just on the radio. I love Max Kellerman. All his boxing stuff. I love when he was like a kid doing boxing stuff on public radio. Jay Williams is my man. Keyshawn Johnson and them. I listen to ESPN while I'm doing my power walk in New York, in Central Park. 6-mile power walk through Central Park, breaking a nice sweat. And what do I hear at the top of the show from Max Kellerman, Jay Williams, talking about how the Dallas Cowboys should bring in Colin Kaepernick? What the? Are you kidding me? You're still talking about this dude? He's done. And yes, he was done greasy. He was done dirty. They shitted on him. But as far as actually playing in the NFL, it's done. We have to the first week. That's who you think should replace Dak Prescott? Max Kellerman, Jay Williams, and Keyshawn Johnson? He tried out for the Raiders. They said it went horribly. He was trying out for NFL teams. I believe it was last season. All kinds of chaos ensued. There's other quarterbacks that have played the game. And you go, well, why do you have to play the game? Why do you have to? We all have to play the game. We all have to play the game unless you don't want to play the game. And if I was Colin Kaepernick, I wouldn't want to play the fucking game. You've made so much money. You sued the NFL as you had the right to. Nike's paid you as you deserve it. Documentaries, Netflix shows, all this stuff, all those things are warranted. But as far as being the actual guy who comes in to actually replace Dak Prescott week 2 for the Dallas Cowboys, you don't think there's a better backup quarterback? And Max Kellerman said, they talked about Cam Newton. Max Kellerman said, well, Colin Kaepernick would be a sexier choice. This ain't the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue. We're talking about winning football. It ain't about sexy. You want sexy, you go to Victoria's Secret. You want sexy, you go watch the Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition. And I say that with all due respect, Max Kellerman. Colin Kaepernick is done with football. He ain't getting no more shots. He worked out for the Raiders. They said it went horribly. He had another workout last year for multiple teams. He changed this. He changed that. He changed everything. You want to play in the NFL? You got to play the game. You want to work in Hollywood? You got to play the game. You want to work for ESPN? You got to play the game. Colin Kaepernick is not exempt from playing the game like all the other players. I don't know how, and again, I fucks with Colin Kaepernick, but as far as backing up, becoming the starting quarterback, and that's what they were discussing. For Dak Prescott, after going down with, I think, a hand injury or a thumb injury, he's supposed to be out for 8 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks. There's the other guys that are more qualified. And there's Mike Rapp, you're a racist. How does that make me a racist? Mike Rapp, that's fucked up. You don't get the whole narrative. You talking about being sexy narratives? You talking about Jerry Jones, who's got that slave owner accent? You think he gives a fuck about sexy narratives? If Colin Kaepernick could win him a Super Bowl, you bet your sweet Bippy that Jerry Jones would sell his ass and start him as the quarterback going forward. But that's just not realistic when we talk about winning football. And if that makes me racist, you're dumb. You're what we call not smart. Huh.